Hello, Happy New Year. True, January 2nd, 2021. Yeah, we all feel the same. We all feel the same way. I don't know if I've ever been more excited about a new year. I don't know. I I instinctively have some really good, calm feelings. So I hope you all do too. I'm sending out prayers and wishes to every single person in the whole world. I'm such a Pollyanna. To everyone. Let's just go into 2021 and have a really good year and a lot of fun. So I've been excited about this one. I know I've shown you guys, there was a picture at the beginning of the old Renewal Whimsy that I did that was a lot smaller. Today we are starting the Black of the Month Whimsies for 2021, and the first one for January is Renewal. And we will be doing a new one the first Saturday of every month. And to start out with, we're going to be doing an artist canvas. I will back up and show you what I did with mine. Unbelievably, I forgot to grab it. But I will do that when I take a little break here. I will grab that, and then in the second segment of this, I'll come back with that. So not to go too long, we're just going to jump in and get started. So a 12 by 18, I showed in the Tuesday teaser last week. I keep saying 12 by 18. It's 12 by 16 artist canvas. The one I did get was very thin because I'm going to use clips on this one that we'll talk about. And then when I come back, we'll talk about the board a little bit more and the knobs. So let me show you what I have here. I gathered up a few things. So this is what you'll need. And I picked, I don't know, just a fabric that I love, something neutral and soft to start off the first of the year, because we're still in winter here in Wisconsin, but I wanted something that, anyway, I just picked this one. I love this fabric. So I cut it an inch smaller than the canvas. So I cut this 11 by 15. I cut my batting 11 by 15, and I cut the backing 11 by 15. So you're just going to do your regular sandwich. I ironed mine all together just to kind of keep it together a little bit. You can pin it, you can spray, temporary spray it, whatever you want to do. I just like to do it like this. So this is what we're going to do. In my very unprofessional way, this is what I will, maybe I will or won't redo this. I don't know when I show you guys the renewal part. But these are the size circles that I came up with that are going to be on here. Everyone will have their own photo. And you'll be able to lay it out however it works for you and your photo. Whatever layout you want is what I want you to do. So in playing with mine, this is what I came up with. You will need four different fabrics for the clock face. So there's number 1. I picked number 2, which this is one of my very favorite fabrics, and it's going to be covered up, but I love that fabric. For the clock face, I just picked a neutral that I could stitch on, and then for where the hands are going to go, the little decorative spot for the hands, I did snip out a little piece of my favorite fabric right there. So I did really quick little embroidery on there. As you can see, this one I cut out with pinking shears. I hand stitched just a simple 12, 6, 9, and 3. All the other numbers, I have so many buttons and I just love them. So I just stitched on some different buttons. I actually stitched them on with the thread that I use, this silk floss. I am so bad about this because if you've been watching the other videos, you guys have no doubt that I feel passionate about the thread gatherer and their hand-dyed silk floss and ribbons. That's almost all I use if I'm going to buy something new because I love them and I love their products so much. I need to start keeping more track of what color I'm using. This is all variegated hand-dyed. I used the same one for the outer rim. I actually used the same one for the numbers. Okay, so I got that laid out. I found this fantastic picture of my grandpa, and I did use fabric paper to print that on. I actually am not going to peel off the paper. You can if you want, but I'm afraid if I do, then you'll be able to see this darker fabric through, and I don't want to mess up his bridal gown. Can you see that, those fake grapes as a corsage? Look at that face on my grandpa. Oh my goodness, how many men would do that? My grandpa was, I don't know, 6'3", 6'4", huge. My mom's dad, I think you can see a resemblance. And my grandpa did plays in Pecatonica, Illinois. And there's another one that we have to find a picture of where he was a baby in this huge white kind of cotton tablecloth with a huge diaper pin. But anyway, that's the one I'm going to use. So cheers to you, Grandpa. So I'm going to put that down here. I am very closely going to try to follow the one that I did for my dad because I loved the whole feel of it so much. So I love the word renewal. This time, last time I used rub-off letters. That's when I was more into scrapbooking and fabric. This time, I'm going down the floss tube hole, you guys. Yeah, it's bad. So anyway, for cross stitch, I got all my cross stitch stuff back out. So in a couple more weekends, we might be talking about that. Anyway, I just took a little piece of this cross stitch fabric I had. I think it was an 18 count, and I went 2 threads over 2, and I just put in renewal. And it's such a simple, very simple. And then I just frayed the edges. So I am going to be putting renewal up here. The only thing when you lay this out, we are going to be quilting it and putting on a traditional binding. So I did cut strips 2 1/4 inch. I just want to make sure that when I do this, I leave enough room around the edges and on top and bottom for my binding to fit. Hopefully we won't be cutting off a lot, but when you do stitch onto the 3 layers like this, it does get wonky and you have to square it up and trim off some of the edges. So let's see what I've got so far. And this is the fun part, is just playing with all the materials that you have to see what you have. Okay, I then found this was one continuous ribbon, if you can imagine, not this one. These 3 colors were all in the same ribbon. I believe they were, yeah, they were. And I just kind of chunked them up. Again, I looked on the Thread Gatherer's Etsy site. She no longer has the velvet hand-dyed ribbons available. I don't know what to say about that. I love them so much, but I luckily have some left. So all these that I'm using are from the Thread Gatherer, and I just didn't know how I was going to use them. I still don't. I'm going to play with it. I kind of liked the thought of just doing little tabs in different color, you know, in these 3 different colors, and then sewing that one down. So I think I'm going to do that. I'll have to figure out which way I like those down. You know, I'm thinking about just doing something like that. And then it's almost like junk journaling on fabric for each month. I'm going to talk about Art Girls in a little bit. I found these hands. I have just drawers and bins full of all this little stuff. But I did have to go buy the clock hands that I found at Joann Fabric. On this one, hopefully it says a little bit after 12, so we just rung in the new year. I'm going to use this cute brad, and I'm going to punch right through the fabric when it gets time to do that. There is different colors. The hands do come with a little one that's the same color. I just want to jazz it up a little bit. So again, I got these at a scrapbook store. I have a couple little hooks that I'm going to put on the back of the canvas. I found an old button that I'm going to do something with. I have my peace charm, peace and love. I found a heart. I'm just showing you guys all these different things. Just something that means something to you. I have some different keys, like maybe the key to a successful new year. And of course, I am putting a crown on Grandpa. As always, I have a cross, and these are the wings. I was looking for some bigger wings. I did find some, but I mean, honestly, you know, I think for everyone, we might be on a budget after this last year. I always am, but so I'm using what I have. So I'm going to use those wings. The big wings I saw at Joann Fabrics were didn't fit in my budget. So anyway, that's kind of what this is going to look like. I'm going to go mess around with this a little bit. I don't know what I just did. Maybe I took a picture while I was talking. I'm going to go play around with this. I am going to sew some things down without you watching me because, I mean, it's straightforward, just stitching. I'm probably going to use a zigzag stitch and just get everything down. I am stitching right, like when I stitch this down, I think I'm just going to use a taupey color thread and stitch right along that edge, just a straight stitch. This, I'm going to use probably a decorative stitch. I'm going to stitch through all 3 layers. That way, that will give it a little bit of quilting all on its own. And then I'll probably come back and do some little hand stitching through it, some big quilt stitching. And it's just kind of a mishmash. I think it's going to be so much fun. I'm really excited about it, so I can't wait to see what it's going to look like. When I come back and show you the canvas, I'll just reach these knobs right now. I don't know what I did with my clips. You know, I talked about the knobs on that Tuesday teaser. I'm not going to do the knobs, although I love the look of them. I'm just wanting to do something different. I haven't used the big clips before, so that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to go stitch this on. I have an announcement that I'm going to make for a giveaway, but I'm so excited about it. I can't control myself. It's like a kid wanting to give you your present right away. But I think I'll stitch this. Then when I come back, I'm going to tell you about the little surprise giveaway that I have that will be coming up, and then I'll show you what I did. Okay, all right, see you in a little bit.